Hello, hello. How you doing? In honor of Mother Win, this is Reacap, Love Tea with DVD, and this is going to be my episode recap of Abbot Elementary. Now, I'm not getting good views on this show. However, scripted TV is coming back to where it used to be. So get on the bus with reality and diva tea with Abbott Elementary. Okay? So this episode is going to be season 3, episode 3, Gregory's Garden Goofballs. And the episode opens up where Janine's ex is in a new relationship. And not only is he in a new relationship, he is playing stepdad. Girl, I mean, baby, when I tell you this show is hilarious, just the right amount of hilarity mixed in with the seriousness of being teachers and educators, and that is me. Well, here I go with the stories of the occupation. Yes, I was indeed a long-term sub, just like Gregory was when he first started the show. So I definitely felt his pain because I was in the midst of, changing from being a customer service assistant manager at Bell South Mobility and them, closing the company and in Jackson, and then me, trying to find another profession. So what better way to start another profession when you already have a bachelor's degree? Teaching. So I was on the fast track to becoming a teacher. That's neither here nor there. I'm just saying. I can relate. But when I tell you that I know you guys get tired of me talking about my various professional moves. It happened. It all happened. But anyway, I feel their pain. I feel the pain about the budget. Ooh, baby. The budget, the amount of things that we had to buy for the classroom. Baby, they just not pay us enough for that. Plus, I was a long-term student. Didn't have not one, do you hear me, not one benefit. So everything that I was paying for is for the benefits because it's coming out of my pocket. Well, yeah, that's right. When you're a long-term sub, you get paid a salary. However, you do not have not one benefit. And Tariq's up in there talking about some, well, since his biological damn father, I am his father, to quote the great Shaquille O'Neal. And Miss Barbara is highly pissed off. She is very perturbed, one, because she already told him to get out her classroom because Janine down at the district. Oh, well, he didn't come see Janine, you see. He's dropping off his stepson. And she wants him out of his classroom, and he's being disruptive as Tariq normally is. He's so immature. I just don't see what in the world. I think Janine and he were together for the first 2 seasons, and then, backstory, they had been together prior to the show. Oh, side note, I watched Family Feud directly after this episode, and the episode was about Abbott Elementary and teachers, and the teachers that inspired Janine and her Abbott Elementary teacher that she named the show after was one of her family members were playing Celebrity Family Feud. Now, Tariq done went around there and stole the Play-Doh out of Barbara's classroom, and she knew it. She told him, give me my Play-Doh back, boy. Now, she didn't say all that, but, had to put my zhuzh on it. And the next scene, we have Janine, and she is, they talk to the camera because it's sort of like a documentary. She's talking to the camera, letting everybody know that everything is going great down at the district, but underlying fact, no, it's not. So she's telling them, she gets in the board meeting, and she's important now. She's up there with the district, and she's with the district, and she's telling them, hey, Mr. Jacob, he at Abbott Elementary, he has submitted a proposal to get a child that's having a speech impediment. Well, not a speech impediment, hearing impediment. Is that what you call it? Impairment. One is impediment and one is impairment. So yes, that can be confusing. But who's having a speech Well, that's Letitia over there on Love Marriage Huntsville that has an impediment. So. Shout out to Letitia. And just side note, boy, tickle. On Dr. Heavenly's conversation with Carlos about marriage medicine last night, she kept saying ISPO. And Carlos never did tell her why that they called it ISPO. But anyway, if you know, you know. And they like, well, you go through the proper channels and we got you because it's only for one kid, right? And she's like, yes. But she's going to go through all the proper channels. She's going to find out that working for the district shows her that she has to go through a lot of red tape, which at that point, she decides that she may have to give up. But of course, Manny, who I think has a crush on her, is totally backing her. So they're closing up the meeting, and then they start doing lines from taking and telling her about all the red tape. Now, remember, they're warning her. And she has now one line to provide. That tickled me. I was like saying to myself, when they going to tell her that she's not doing lines from the movie? Oh, Janine. For her mama to have been such a hood rat hoe, a hit rat hoochie mama play about Taraji P. Henson. Shout out to Taraji P. Henson playing her mother. I would love to see it again. Come on, Abbott. You know your girl is complaining. Don't blackball her. Are y'all going to blackball her because she was complaining about pay and she may not be on Abbott Elementary anymore? I don't ever want that to happen. She needs to come back to Abbott Elementary and play Janine's mother again. You know, make various guest appearances. It was so cool. But anyway, we're back at the school and Gregory's, not Gregory's students, but Jacob's students are coming to see Gregory during his lunch break. And they get female advice from none other than Gregory. But Gregory really wants to talk about, what does Gregory love to talk about the most? Botany. Shout out to my botany and ecology teacher in high school, Mr. Liddell. He didn't take no mess. And he talked with a very nasally voice. We talk like this. One son, one incline. Oh, this show reminds me of my student days. So Gregory is actually giving them good sound advice, but they're not hearing it that way because they don't want to hear good sound advice. They want to hear what they think is cool. So they think his advice is actually cool when he's not really being cool. And one of the kids turns around and farts. Well, here goes Tyreek. Tyreek's in the next scene. It's lunchtime for the kindergartners and Miss Schmitty and Barbara. Here he comes with a brown paper bag lunch. Baby, I cannot make this stuff up. So after lunch, Miss Barbara lets Miss Schmitty know that Tariq is helping raise one of the students in her class. She was like, oh wow, I didn't know Janine was pregnant. So I've gotten good at ignoring Janine. She said Janine doesn't have a child. He's just this plain stepdaddy. He comes in with that brown sack lunch. He says, I need to trade. Hi, mean Italian lady. Talking to Miss Schmidt. And so when he trades it out, he takes the baby's Lunchable and leaves him a grown people lunch. Like, I don't know what was in the bag, but I'm sure it wasn't Lunchable that the kid wants. She's like, wait, that's the Lunchable. I know, and they're delicious. And walks out. Child, I'm telling you, that Tariq. I know they had to come up with a way to get him back on the show now that he and Janine are broken up. Because it's hilarious. Back at the school district, we have Janine over there just trying her best to make things work out. So while she's going through the red tape, they tell her to go to the woman in office 237. Guess who the woman in office 237 is? Who can help with everything? Janine. She goes to her own office and realizes that they're talking about her. And who's in there? None other than Abe. Time for Abe to make an appearance on the show now. Ava and Janine talk, and Ava lets Janine know that she's trying to get a interpreter for Jacob and the young lady with the hearing impairment. And she was like, what I got going on is more important. What's the use of me having a mole? Come find out. She down there stealing bubbly water out the communal refrigerator. And she's like, I'm not giving you a company card. And she was like, what's the use of me having a mole then? I'm not your mole. And she walks out. And now we're in Jacob's classroom. So Gregory is explaining to Jacob that the kids are coming into his classroom. And he was like, well, it's a considerable amount of gas being passed while they're in there. I don't need them in my class during my non-work related activity. And he's like, oh my God, you're the cool teacher. I'm not. Yes, you are. Then he's like, well, did you actually hear the gas? And he was like, duh, because the first one Smith. And then he's like, wow. Yep. Don't you understand what this means? And Greg was like, no. He's like, that means you're going to be able to relate to the students on a better level. But they're not my students. They're your students. But I'm not the cool teacher. So one of Jacob's students that's in Gregory's class that comes to see him during his free period says he's going to buy his old lady a chain. And Gregory was like, no, don't buy her a chain. The chain is for you. So he's giving them sound advice. And they say, yeah, is that how you treat your old ladies on your roster? He said, I'm a grown man. I don't have a roster. But you should concentrate on school and not girls. This is going to come back to bite him in the butt in the next couple of sentences. Now, Janine is in her office and she is trying her best to find qualified ALS candidates to do the interpreting for Jacob's classroom. And just like I said, she's letting them know that there are no benefits involved, especially when you first start. So they're letting her know that it may not get done. And she's like, I get it. I'm in the big leagues, but I'm in the big T's. He's like, the big T's, man, I said the big T's. And she's like, I'm going to work it out. Now, back at the school, we have Tariq, and he's bringing the little boy to school that he's claiming to be his stepson. He is offering the little boy to watch Set It Off. He's like, I know a way to get him to like me. I'll let him watch Set It Off. Set It Off. Talking about he was way too young. His daddy showed it to him. So what about this kindergarten? Didn't it affect you? Child, sometimes men just don't think, do they? So Tamika admits that little TJ doesn't like him. And then she said, well, you might want to start by calling him his name. And he literally thinks that name is a made-up name. And she's like, no, his name is indeed Nick. And so he wants to be the boy's common-law stepdaddy. And he didn't know his name was Nick. Yeah. Then gonna say, I don't think it's wise to be making up names for the kid. Baby, I can't make this stuff up. Now we are at lunch with Jacob and Janine, and Jacob lets her know that he was kind of jealous that she got the job, but he misses her so much. She's like his little baby right on. So Jacob lets her know that he's kind of feeling some kind of way about Gregory, having his students in the classroom and him being the cool teacher. She was like, well, normally I'm secure, but you know how Jacob is. He's obviously lying. So anyway, she lets him know that, she might have some trouble getting him the ALS interpreter. And he's like, I'm getting better. And he's not. So she goes into her little confession and says, oh, I'm having trouble, but I just got to make this happen. And you know how Janine is. She's all positive, but she's literally about to cry. So Ava is picking with the students like she normally does, and then she notices that there's a delay with the little girl who has the speech impairment because it's being translated through her computer. And Jacob told Ava that Janine is running into roadblocks. Oh, Janine, she can't really stand it because she both of them like Gregory. And she says, oh, nothing's too impossible for Janine. The person who got a commercial driver's license to drive the school bus, I know she can do it. So the little girl that was supposed to receive the change, she's out there crying, and they're like, "What is it? What did I do?" And because Jacob and Gregory are talking about their meeting at the bar, and they missed him, and so she comes up crying, and I hate you, Mr. Eddie. And they're like, "What did you do to this child?" And all I did was tell him not to buy a new chain. Don't you realize we've been trying to get him to buy her a new chain? And while she's crying, the janitor, he says, Mr. Johnson's like, "Be gone, Saint, we need holy mop water." And Miss Barbara said, "Did there any one mistake from your incompetence?" And all of the women walk off, including Jacob, leaving Gregory standing there with his eyes booked. Is the eye book thing, does it bother you guys? Because I kind of think it's hilarious, but, back in the day, they used to call it the eye book when we came into ourselves and became politically correct, like I almost said it, a boom thing, put a C in front of it. So the goofballs want to go see Gregory, but he has a do not disturb sign on his door. And Sheminta, she snatches the sign off the door, and she's like, I don't want to be the one in charge of all the preteen girls. And Mr. Jones say, if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be anything. Because he always coming to me for advice. He'd be dead. And Greg was like, I don't do that. And then Sheminta says, they're coming to you. You're the cool teacher. They're correcting up. So Sheminta walks out and says, look, dude, you owe me a new chain. I shouldn't have to be in charge of all the preteen girls. We are here for the kids, not just your two students that's in the first grade. And she walks out. So next thing, we have Ava going down to the district, and she's out there while Janine is in a meeting. Janine. So while she's in the meeting, she's just like telling Ava she's just not going to be able to get the interpreter. She said, no, Imani's missing out on my zinger. That's very important. And I know you can do it because, us being friends, that was acquaintances, that was impossible. She said, well, that's different. I have so much red tape to go through. And then she said, I know you can do it because that's what we do for our kids. Look at Ava giving a pep talk. And then she lets her know again, thanks for being the mole. She said she needs 2 assistants. Ava says she needs 2 assistants. Janine says, go away. And then she leaves. But before she leaves, she has to throw in a little zinger and let her know that Tariq has a son in Barbara's class. So Tariq come by to get the kid, and he start calling him by his real name, and he makes all these little puns about his name being Nick. And he talks to Barbara. He said, your advice goes hard, Miss Howard. And then she was like, will the mother ever come and get the child? And he said, no, she works crazy hours, and it'll just be me for twice a week until either she gets a job or I find somebody else to smooch off of, like he used to smooch off Janine. By the way, he didn't say that, but I judged it up. And we all know that Tariq loves to smooch, don't we? And then Barbara gets in her confession and says, boy, it takes a village. And sometimes in that village is a goofball named Tariq. No, she didn't say that. I did. But hey, I had to judge it up. So we back at the district, and man said, we're not trying to tell you to do things outside of the box, but sometimes, quote unquote, sometimes you have to do things outside of the box. She gets a great idea. She calls Jacob, and Jacob tells her, what are you doing? Are you calling me because you didn't want me to know you're Ava's mole? I'm not Ava's mole. Get me Money's information. And she remembers that the district doesn't like bad publicity. So she has the parents, quote unquote, threaten them with bad publicity. And guess what? Janine saves the day. And that's going to be the end of that episode. Come on in, like, comment, and subscribe. I think you will love this show. Of course, the show is on a big 3, and it's not a reality show. I told you when I started my channel that I would be doing a variety of things. So come on in, watch this show, watch my recaps. You will love them both, and you will be thoroughly entertained. This has been Reacap with DVD. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell button so you can be notified each and every time I upload a video. And I am out. And as I do when I close, I chunk them up. Deuces.